welcome to Kicking It in the Kitchen. I'm David Doc Robertson. I'm your host. Hi, and welcome to Kicking It in the Kitchen. I'm David Doc Robertson, and I guess you're wondering what I'm doing here with my hand on the ladle and the ladle's over the fire. Well, actually what I am doing is I'm preparing for one of our snacks for the today's focus. And today's focus is indoor tailgating for the big game. And what we're going to do is we're going to have shrimp pizza, and we're going to have lunch meat quesadillas, and that's going to be really tasty. I'm trying to melt this butter for the pizza, and you only need a little bit, maybe a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon. I might have too much. And I'm going to melt it just a little bit more. I'm going to move over to my table, but first I'm going to turn this fire off. See if I can do that without spilling the butter. There we go. Alright, so I can walk and chew gum at the same time. Get it? Walk and chew gum. All right. So I'm moving over here. Now I know this might sound challenging, especially the shrimp pizza, but it's not. It's really very easy. If I can do it, anyone can do it. All right. And you can, just like on all the other shows, I'm guarantee that I'm not going to go too fast for you. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, well, let's see if I lay this down, will it spill out? And no, it won't. So that loosens up this hand right here. I'm going to make two pizzas. As you can see, what I have here laid out, I have cheese, I have bell peppers, diced tomatoes, baby shrimp, and I have diced shrimp. And that's the reason why I'm going to make two pizzas. Because usually when I make them with the diced shrimp. And that's really time consuming to sit there and cut up all the shrimp. So I'm going to try the baby shrimp, which are small, and they don't need to be cut up, and that can save some time. All right? So, oh, by the way, I want to welcome President Barack Obama. I know you're watching, because this will be something that you might want to try for the while you're watching the Super Bowl. Now, before I put this butter on the tortillas, and also tortillas are something you always want to keep around the house because they're quite handy. And I'm going to show you why in a minute, because we're going to have two indoor tailgating snacks here. The pizza being the most time consuming, and while it is baking in the oven, I'm going to make the lunch meat quesadilla. So in order to make this into garlic butter, you can go to the store and buy garlic butter, but I prefer to control the amount of garlic that I put in there myself. You see, that's just a little bit, just for flavor. All right, so I close that, and all right, so I know that this is not, I swish it around a little bit so it will mix in there quite well. And what I do is just ladle that on there and spread it around like this. And you know what? I should have done this. No, I'm fine doing it like this, because now you see how nice and shiny that is going on there. And the same thing on this one. I think I put too much on that one. And you know what I'm going to do? Well, there's a little bit more in here that I'll get on there. Okay, so I'm going to set this down. Like that. And to make sure that I have enough on both of them, what I'm going to do is just fold them over and mix them around like that. And while they're sitting there, I'm going to get my pizza pan from over here. I'm going to just set those right on top of the pizza pan. There we go. And I'll move this paper towel out of the way and bring this down. You got to be very careful. All right, now anybody can make this. Like I said, I know I've said it before. If, let's say you are starting out in college and you're trying to, let's say you're going to have a big party and you're trying to impress someone with your culinary skills, this shrimp pizza will really do it. All right? That's my thumbs up. Want to see my finger? When I get mad at somebody cutting in front of me, that's what I do if they cut in front of me. That's really intimidating, huh? Okay, so now I have the garlic butter on here, and for cheese, I use an assortment of cheddar cheeses. You can buy them in a bag, or you can be like the other chefs on television and grate it yourself, but for me that's really time consuming, and so I just buy them in a bag, and I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to move this a little closer. I'm going to try not to spill it. There we go. And by the way, also, I know that my nephew Stephen and my niece Casey are watching the show. So we get this cheese. And to all you vets out there, okay, so we spread this around. I want to say hi and hope that you're making, or you're that society is welcoming you back from your service. Okay, all right, got a shrimp in there. Oh boy, I might not have enough cheese. I might have to borrow some from the quesadilla. And I thought I had too much. Okay. Yeah, I am going to have to borrow some from the quesadilla. Okay. Spread this around. You don't want it too thick. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to set this down like this. Spread this around evenly. Okay, and then do the same with this. Get a little bit of that over there. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to get a little bit more. Borrow this from the quesadilla. And then some more will reappear. All right. Okay, now this is starting to look nice. But like I say, you don't want it too thick. That looks pretty thick. I think we can borrow some from this one and put over here. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, so now that's looking pretty darn good. Okay, so next I'm going to put in the bell pepper and the tomato and the shrimp on each one, and then we'll stick them in the oven. But first I want to show you how I diced the bell pepper, the tomato, and the medium-sized shrimp. All right? And we'll be right back. For the pizza, we have the bell peppers, the tomatoes, and the shrimp that I'm going to dice for you. The bell peppers, you can see, has been diced quite a bit. I was keeping it in this plastic bag, which is good for storage. Make sure that if you do that, that you try to get as much air out as you can, because you know that air promotes decay in your produce. So you want to eliminate that and keep your produce as fresh as possible for as long as possible. So this will probably be the last time I use this bell pepper, and so we can just move this part away, and we're going to make this cut right there, and now for the pizza you want to get the pieces as small as possible, because you're dealing with a thin shell with the tortillas. So you're gonna do like that. There we go. Okay, so we have these diced, and what we're going to do is we're going to set them over here on this paper towel. And next we're going to do the tomato. So put that down like that, and uh-oh. Just cut them in half like that, or the best that you can. It's the important part is to get them so that they lie flat, like that. All right? Now, watch what happens now that I have this lying flat. Put this cut right there, and then one right here, and then do the same thing on this side. Oh, the tomato's not as firm as I thought it was. Okay, well, let's turn this around, and then we can go all the way through. There we go. like that, and then we can just cut this part. And see, that's what happens when you have gushy tomatoes. As you should know, this spatula is not that sharp to cut the tomatoes perfectly. So what we're going to do is we don't want to use the meat of the tomato because that's where the seeds and the juicy parts are. So we get that out of the tomato. We cut around there. Okay. And now we just have the hard part to dice. As you can see, that's going down quite nicely. As you can see, I had to do the same thing. I had to make the dicing pieces as small as I could for the pizza. All right. Now I'm putting everything on this paper towel. And the reason why I have them on the paper towel rather than on the plate is so that the paper can soak at least a little bit of the liquid out of there. And now for the shrimp. So I'm going to cut the tail off like this. Okay. Just cut that. Oops. Get that away. And then if you're thrifty, you can get that right there. You have two pieces like right there, and then you just cut that, and you do that. So you can see, like I said, this can be quite tedious. So that's why I'm going to try out the baby shrimp, because I've only had it this way, and when I've done it like this, it was very, very good. So, okay, I hope the demonstration was helpful to you. Now you see why it's so tedious to dice the shrimp. And that's why I'm going to do the experiment and having two pizzas, one with the diced shrimp and one with the baby shrimp. So we will see which one tastes the best, because that's the most important thing, flavor. Right now I'm going to start dressing the pizza. I'm going to start with the diced shrimp in this paper towel. I'm going to see if I could just fold everything up and then just swing it over to the pizza without spilling anything. All right. We're going to just set this down on there and let it unfold. And we got it. All right. I'm always surprised when things go right, because you know, in this kitchen anything can happen. So now we're spreading this out. We're getting it evenly spread, even over here, and we're going to do the same thing with the baby pizza. And I'm going to, the baby shrimp on the baby pizzas. So I'm going to use this ladle and see if I can get those up right out of here. Okay. Now let's get the rest of those little guys. And they're going on well, this just like the other ones. Okay. Take the last one out of there. Set this down. Spread these around like so. Okay. And now for the other two things. We have the diced bell pepper and the tomatoes. Tomato. We're going to use this. Get a few of them over here. And a few over here. Okay. Spread them around evenly as well. And last of these would be the tomatoes. Okay. So. Now, let's say you have little cameramen around. It's always good to have them. This makes a good family project. When my cameraman was little and we were left upon our own in the kitchen, we would team up on a meal and get it done a lot quicker than I'm doing by myself. So that works too, to have help around, okay? But I'm just showing you right now that working by yourself is not impossible. And the last things we're going to put is we have basil right here. Oops. Let's see, how does this open? Okay. So we're going to put a little of this. Now, what you can do, if you prefer to have fresh basil, you cut them up into strips and put it on. But see, I've already done a lot of cutting, and so I'm skipping that. I'm just putting this on very lightly on both pizzas here. Okay. And then one more seasoning. I have a Mediterranean blend. Uh-oh. I'll just let that stay right there. I have a Mediterranean blend that's made by the same people who makes the seasoning salt. And I'm going to put this on lightly as well. Okay. I don't know if you can see how that's going on. It was kind of packed there. There. And that should do it. Okay. So, I'm going to pull this out. Now, remember when I said that I couldn't lift the bread pudding in and I ladled it? This is nowhere near as heavy as the bread pudding. And so I can lift this one. And I can get it right over here and then fix my hand underneath and balance it. Nice and easy like that. Now, if I do drop it, you'll hear me start cussing and yell cut really quick. Alright? So just take your time like I'm doing and set that in there like that. As you may recall with the bread pudding, I had to use this stick to turn the oven on. Alright? Because I don't have an oven knob right here in the front. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this, oops, okay, we're going to set this at, it might be too close. Alright, there we go. We're going to set it at 450, oh, about to kill myself. Alright, here we go. There you go. Let's see. Timer. Yeah, let's do timer. Does that say timer? Cameraman, does that say timer? I don't have my glasses on.
That says clock.
Clock, okay. Is this the timer? Wait, that says timer. There we go. And we're going to put it on. For 12 minutes. And hopefully it will preheat for 15 minutes first before it starts cooking. Alright, so we're going to put it on bake at 450. There we go, and we're going to start. Yes. Alright, I did it right. Alright, I don't use the oven that much. And these futuristic machines really get to me sometimes. Okay, so it's preheating for 15 minutes, and then it's going to bake. I usually let them bake for 10 minutes. Because there's so much stuff on there, and the tomatoes and bell peppers may have more liquid in them, so that's why I do that. But I want the tortillas to be a little more crispy, so I put a couple extra minutes on there. But now, while that is in the oven, we're going to hurry up and make the other dish, the quesadilla, the lunch meat quesadilla. Now let me find a place for this before it kills me. Alright, I think I'll stick it right in there. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this plate, now I'm going to get a paper towel. Alright. Okay, there we go. I'm going to get a paper towel without making a mess here. Now this is going to be very simple and very plain, but it's going to taste unbelievably delicious. I did this one night as a snack, and it came out quite good. So I said, you know what? For young people or people who have really a simplistic taste, this would be good for a game. You know, for watching the Super Bowl or whatever. Okay, so all you do is you get the tortilla and you get some cheese. I'm gonna get this. Oh, it's moving away from me. Okay. You just get some cheese. Okay. And you just put that in there like that. Now, when I did it, I used a bigger tortilla because all I'm going to do is just fold this in half. And now for the lunch meat. Oh boy. I'm using 2 lunch meats right here. This is 1 slice of ham. Uh-oh. Almost dropped it. Right there. And turkey. Uh-oh. Should have used my handy dandy fork. And we're going to go right there. And you know what else? I'm going to sneak in some of this leftover shrimp and stuff right here. Just a little bit. Let's move this out of the way. Alright, bring this closer. Now I just came up with this idea and I hope that it comes out just right because I had never used this or mixed in the shrimp before. So you're seeing a first right here, right now. Let's get a little bit of tomatoes in there. If you want, you can add chilies to this or salsa. Okay. All right. Okay, so we make sure we got everything in there. I hope I didn't make it too fat. All right, so I'm going to fold this over like that and mash it down. And hopefully it will stay. I'll just use the paper towel to make it stay when I put it in the microwave. Alright, so we have this closed nice and tight, and I'm going to move over here and well, okay, this makes it a lot easier to put in. Alright, so just slide this under here like that. Okay. Alright. And then I just set the whole thing. Well, actually, let me fold this around. And I'm going to just set this in there. And I'm going to cook that for 1 minute. Let me get in a space. There, 1 minute. So we have about, and that's it for the quesadilla. All right. Now I'm going to show you how I take this out, because this is quite tricky, taking something out of the microwave for me. So what I do is I have this here. This is supposed to be my chopping board, but I use it for something else. Okay, so what I'm going to do, now if I had this on a different level, say the same level as my coffee machine, I probably would have an easier time. But this is on a standard height counter, so I have to use this to get this out with. And so we get it out, make sure it doesn't fall. Here we go, like that. And then I know that the plate is not hot, so I'll give it. There we go. Just slide that back, and now we're going to give this a taste. I unwrap this. Make sure it's not too hot. It's a little warm. Let's see. Let me go back over here. All right. We'll set this stuff down. I really don't like working with a lot of things in my lap. And let's see, we're gonna try to scoop this up. As you can see, the plate bent up a little bit, but that's all right. We're gonna scoop this up. Or maybe even just cut a piece off. Like that. There we go. Oh, no, it doesn't want to come apart. There. That should come off. Oh, maybe just a little bit more. I know it smells good. Okay. If that doesn't come up, I'm just going to pick it up and take a bite. Oh no, here we go. It's the cheese stuck to the paper towel. That's the only thing you have to worry about. But it's better for it to stick to the paper towel than to the plate. Uh-oh. Let's put that down over here. Okay, so it's not too hot. All right. So we can just unstick that. I'm telling you that all this work is going to be worth it. That's good. I'm going to get the rest of this paper off of here. Okay, so that quesadilla was delicious. So now the timer on the oven went off for the pizzas, and I am going to try to open that without burning myself. Now let's see, because remember, safety is always important. So you noticed how easy it was for me to open when I put the items in, but now I'm going to do it and make sure I get my fingers all straight. And I'm using this rag, and I'm going to try and do it in one shot. There, I did it. There you go. And I'm going to use my hook to pull the tray out. There. How does that look? That looks good to you? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that cool down before I try to take them off. And it looks like I might have a problem because the cheese might have stuck the two tortillas together, but we'll see about that, and we're gonna let these cool off for about 5 minutes, and then we'll take them off and we'll have a taste. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. They're cooled down, and I already took one off. I took the one with the diced pizza off, and now I'm going to take the other one off. All right, and I'm gonna slip it into my pan here, and I'm gonna cut it in half. No, actually, let's see if I can just take a bite. Yeah. That's very good. I think I might need another taste. Okay, so now I'm going to try the one with the diced pizza, and I'm going to tell you which one is better. The diced pizza might take more work, but there's a lot more flavor in that one. This one is good, this one is better. So, when you make the shrimp pizza, you have two ways to go. You can use the baby shrimp, or you can take the time to cut to dice your pizza or your shrimp and to make them small. All right, so there you have it. You have two snacks for your indoor tailgate party for the games coming up. We have football games, the Super Bowl is coming up, and then we have March Madness. These will go with any of those things that are coming up, and I hope you enjoy yourself. I know that as soon as the camera cuts off, I'm going to finish these myself. All right, so you've been watching Kicking It in the Kitchen, and I am David Doc Robertson. Until next time, see you later, and cut.
Fried neck bones and some home fries. Fried neck bones and some home fries. Fried neck bones and some home